Chapter 12, Section 5 is symmetry, and our objective is to identify and describe the two types of symmetry in figures. Symmetry is when you have it's a transformation and the image and the pre-image collide. And we start out here with line symmetry, just like this heart here. That's a line of symmetry. And the line of symmetry is the line where the figure is divided or folded, and sometimes it's called the reflection line. So we are asked to draw all lines of symmetry in here. First one is a hexagon, and we have lines of symmetry in the sides. And then we can also go through the corners. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of symmetry. And this one we've already counted. Next one, there is 1 line of symmetry. The next one, we have a horizontal and a vertical. And then we also have 2 on the diagonal. So there are 4 lines of symmetry. And a parallelogram can be kind of tricky. A lot of people think there is a symmetry line in a parallelogram. But if you take a look at a parallelogram, that looks something like this. If you try to fold it in half, the sides don't quite match up. So there are no lines of symmetry in a parallelogram. Letter E, I'm going to go through the points. And then we can also go through these, I don't know, indented ones. I don't know what you call that. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines of symmetry. Letter F, we have the horizontal and the vertical, and then the 2 diagonals for 4 lines of symmetry. G, we just have a horizontal and a diagonal. And H, again, we have 4 lines of symmetry. Rotational symmetry is when a figure is rotated about a point between 0 and 360 so that the image coincides with the pre-image. And the angle of rotational symmetry is the smallest angle which a figure can be rotated to coincide with itself. Angle and the order are related, and the order is the number of times the figure matches up with itself. So this one, we could actually rotate it 3 times. So your order would be 3, and then your angle is 360 degrees divided by 3. So our order would be 120 degrees. And in example 2, we are asked to identify if the following figures have rotational symmetry, and then give the order and the degree. A is yes. The order is 2. And the angle, 360 divided by 2, is 180. Letter B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the order is 8, and the angle, 360 divided by 8, I think it's 45. Okay. Letter C, we would be able to rotate that once and then twice. So our order is 2. The angle, 360 divided by 2 is 180. Letter D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our order is 6, and the angle 360 divided by 6 would be 60. Letter E, there is none. Letter F, your order is 3, and your angle 360 divided by 3 is 120. Letter G, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our order is 4, and our angle in that case would be 90. 360 divided by 4 is 90, and H, there is none. Example 3 says to describe the symmetry of each figure, draw all lines of symmetry, and if there is rotational symmetry, give the angle and the order. Letter A, there are no lines of symmetry, and there is also no rotational symmetry. B, I think we have 4 lines of symmetry, and our order, we could rotate that 4 times. So our order is 4, and the angle is 90. Letter C, there are no lines of symmetry. And for rotational, the order is 3, and the angle is 120. 360 divided by 3 is 120. And letter D, I don't think those will match up, so there are no lines of symmetry. It does have rotational symmetry, so your order would be 2, and the angle 360 divided by 2 is 180. And then at the top of the next page, we talk about plane symmetry. Plane symmetry is when a plane divides a figure into 2 halves, like right here we show that plane cutting the pyramid or the box into 2 pieces. Symmetry about an axis is when we have like the cylinder that can be rotated. And we are asked in example 4 to tell whether each figure has plane symmetry, can be cut in half, or symmetry about an axis. Letter A, that would be plane symmetry. We have kind of a front half and a back half. So that would be plane symmetry only. Letter B would be both, because you could cut that in half and have the left side match up with the right side, and you could also rotate it about an axis. Letter C, you would have plane symmetry because you could cut that in half. And letter D, we don't know whether any of these sides are equal, so we don't know if anything is equal, so nothing really matches up, so there is no symmetry here.